Today is Monday, November the 11th, and we can see that the Globex high, well, we already talked about that in the video this morning, which was substituting for Friday, but we have a Globex high here at 4 p.m. on Sunday, well, whatever that is. But the point is, we never saw the Globex high during the day. We opened the market at the Globex low, which had been previously made at 9:50 in the morning on November the 8th. We started the Globex low, and we said in the video this morning, watch the Fibonacci's, and that's what happened. It went up to 50%, down to 38.2. This is a 38.2 of the prior days. So it's important to plot two sets of Fibonacci's if you're trading the futures. One is the Globex low to the Globex high, and the other one is prior days low to prior days high. And you can see that both of them come into play. Whereas the 50% for the Globex Fibonacci's, the 38.2 for the prior day. And then we passed the 61.8 for the prior day, didn't quite make it to the 78.6. So that's the way the day ended. The key thing here, though, is that the market imbalance is that the advancers to decliners, the advancers trailed the decliners by 55 to roughly 40%, and volume was particularly low. Now today was a holiday when the banks were closed, and I imagine the governments were closed. The big traders may have taken an opportunity to make it a long weekend. The market did finish up on a high note for the Dow, down for the NASDAQ, and down for the S&P 500. So I don't know which components of the Dow drove it up, but remember the Dow is only 30 different stocks, whereas the S&P 500 is 500. So I really don't put a lot of stock, pun intended, in the Dow, and I look more at the S&P 500. But that means that, and this is updated for today, our volatility index is now down below zero, the neutral line. So it's going into the oversold area, so we could see more downside. So let's look at the S&P. The S&P bounced off of the 8 EMA. We don't see too much from a Chiku span point of view. Let's look at it from other time. The 1 hour looks like it's been support, but we've got this gap in the 1 hour. And we're going to have to watch tomorrow and see where we are by 9 in the morning and see if this Chiku span can avoid this gap and staying under the candles. So that's important. Let's look at the 15-minute. The 15-minute shows playing around in this candle area here, now below the 8 and below the cloud. But again, now in the 15-minute, there's this gap here. So there's a very good possibility that it's going to open up and pass through the gap on the 15-minute, which means it'll probably pass through the 60-minute gap as well. Apple started the day off negative, but finished off at 262.30. That's a new high, meaning that Apple is bound for the 38.2, the 138.2 extension of the Fibonacci's now of 268.41. Caterpillar, really only down 16 cents, nothing to worry about there. The stock is still doing well despite delays that there might be in the China Accord. GDX started the day off strongly but finished off only 5 cents high. And our other gold miner stock that we've been tracking finished up 52 cents, so 1.15%. That's really quite good. So this consolidation now is just getting tighter and tighter. So decision day for this cone-shaped pennant is coming. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more days where we could potentially be within this pennant and getting tighter and tighter, or coiling as they say. And today's volume was a little light, as we saw in the whole market. So I'm still just half a position in KL and holding on. I've seen my position go very negative to very positive, and I'm just holding on, looking for an opportunity to double what I'm holding in KL. But it's going to take a movement in the US dollar or oil and in gold. AT&T only down 2 cents. Still great stock given its dividend. Amazon down 13, so you can see that the cloud is taking its toll, and so are all of these moving averages for the Chiku span. We said the Chiku span was going to have trouble breaking through these averages. It bounced off the 200 simple, moved up. It actually was stopped by the 200 right here on this day. On the next day, it moved above, and the next day again, it moved a little bit higher. But now it's come down. It did actually get rejected by the 50. As you can see right here, the top of this candle hit the 50, and that proved to be too much, and there were too many sellers waiting there, and down it went. So it's going to continue to move in a random fashion throughout the cloud as it does, and it's the Chiku span really that you have to be watching closely if you're trading Amazon.